Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Alakazam Video Blog. So David,
Yes,
we're back. We've missed 2 weeks, I think.
we have. We've been filming some really exciting projects. So,
We have been filming some great projects. A great friend of ours that Leo Schmetz has put us in touch with at Blackpool, actually, a very, very clever magician called Fink.
Yeah.
I know you love the stuff because you were learning it all.
Yeah, well, the great stuff is it was so visual, and I thought it could be quite hard to learn. But within a half hour, an hour, I was doing some of the most visual stuff, and it was really great.
So that will be coming soon. You've got to look out for that. It's a DVD called Parallels. There's also a brilliant trick by my very good friend Steve Cook.
Yeah, that is awesome as well.
Yeah, so there's that. We also filmed a brand new effect by our very own Andy Smith.
Yeah,
which is a great sort of packet effect, but a sort of gambling routine that
packet poker, I suppose. It's very visual and really practical, which is what we like. And of course, one by you.
Yes.
Which again has been causing a bit of stir within all the magicians you've been showing it to.
Yeah, it's something I came up with a long time ago. Anyone that knows me would have seen me do this at some point, I should think. I sort of save it as a bit of a magician fooler.
Yeah.
But where I'd done a bit of a lecture tour last year with Leo, I was teaching it, and so many people said, "Oh, where can I get it? Is it out on DVD?" So it is going to be out on DVD. I'm not going to say too much about any of the effects. You'll see them in coming weeks.
I will say about that though, it isn't just a magician fooler. It works great for lay public as well.
Yeah, and there's some great little alternatives on there. And also, we refilmed one of our classics.
Yes, we did.
Which is going to be coming out again in a couple of months, bigger and better than ever before. And I've also added in my pet routines to it that I have honestly only shared with a few people. There's like a chair test routine with it. There's a really nice one with envelopes, and it's really great. I'm not going to say too much more about it. You'll see it all. We'll start revealing them as we get closer. But this week we are looking at 3 products.
Yeah.
2 brand new or newish. This one's brand new. This one's been out a couple of months, but every time we've wanted to do it on the vlog, we've sold out.
It's coming and gone. So I can finally show you it, as it looks. So and then the code.
The code, it's something that we've had it come out about a year ago. It's by my very good friend Andy Nyman, and for some reason we've never really done it on the vlog. I don't know why. It's just something that
I was in on Saturday and I was like, what should we do this week? Obviously we knew these two. And then I put the DVD in, and then I started watching the routines, and it just re-sparked. Why am I not doing this? Why have I not taken this out of me? Because the amount of mileage you can get out of this deck of cards is ridiculous. But we'll get onto that.
Yeah, I saw Andy perform the first version, because the code is a revamp of one of Andy's old tricks called, I believe it was the Homicide deck. At the time. You had to make it yourself. It was a pain. But he used to appear at the conventions, and he would have made up 10 or 20 units, and they used to sell like this. I mean, it's such a great routine, and anyone that knows Andy Nyman's work knows that it's really practical, really commercial. He puts so much effort into making sure everything is 100% spot on. And the code is absolutely fantastic. It's a secret weapon that you should carry with you. It's great. So without further ado, let's move on to the first project or product.
Which is?
Which one do you want it to be?
I want it to be the sleeper.
The sleeper?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with the sleeper.
8.
Yes.
Grab a card out for me. Not only would I like you to remember it, but I'd like to show the guys at home as well. Let them see.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to take that card back, place it in the back here.
Yeah.
Look, I want to be as fair as I can with this. That card is in there. I'm going to mix these up as well, so you don't think I'm doing any funny moves. I know we're all magicians here. But nothing on my hands? No funny magnets?
No, you're all good.
Invisible spiders?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, I wouldn't know.
No. Would they be they'd be invisible, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But the great thing about this is under my control I can cause something quite weird to happen with this pack of cards.
Alright.
Think of your card for me. One card rises eerily out of the pack. And that should be your card. The Jack of Diamonds.
And that is my card. That is Sleeper. I mean, that's the basic performance of it, but...
Right. Some really important points with this, which I absolutely love. The second that the card is placed back into the pack, I can now, and I don't think I'm giving anything away with this, saying I can now lock your card in place, and which allows me to shuffle,
put them
spread,
down, spread them, yeah.
Yeah, there's no timing on this. There's no needing to be near it.
Yeah.
You know, I just love the freedom in this gimmick. Now, the gimmick itself is made incredibly well. It was ingenious. When I saw how it first worked, that's what got me excited about this. The fact that, number one, it's a really great gimmick to use, but number two, it's very practical, and it gives you your rising card.
Yeah.
If you love rising card effects, then this is, in my opinion, is a must-have. You've got to at least, get one, give it a go, and have a play with it.
Well, the other good point as well is any of you that are aware of rising card effects, especially things like the original ones, would know that most probably only half the deck or 3/4 of the deck are actually in play.
Yes.
With this, it's one gimmick that you can ring in and ring out, and then use the deck normally. So, sort of 99% of this deck is totally ungimmicked.
Yeah.
So you only have to remove the gimmick in the guise of removing the jokers or whatever, and you're now set with a normal deck.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I know that was just a basic routine using it. That's basically it. I know when you usually perform it, you do it. The first rise you do in conjunction with Limitless, so you get them to think of a card, take the cards out of the box, and their card rises out.
Yeah.
And then you go into the rising card effect. But it really does, for any of you guys that do not do a rising card, and some people might think rising card's quite old hat, the reaction you get from lay people when you do it, I mean, just watching you do it there, it still looks magical to see a card rise out of a pack.
Yeah.
And with this, you're in control of the speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the cool thing about it. Obviously, I had it rising, so you saw the face, but you can have it so you see the back first, which obviously adds a bit of suspense. But you're in control of the speed that it rises up, so that's another nice little touch.
Yeah.
You can play that whole acting like you're causing it to rise and then stop and then rise a bit more.
Yeah.
But I love rising card, and so I was excited about this anyway. But when I got it, it just didn't disappoint,
And the other thing is as well, with audience management, you can get this to happen in their hands, in the spectators' hands. Obviously, it can rise out the box as well, so the cards can go back in the box and it will still work.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a rising card. It is what it is. But the fact that it locks, the fact that a gimmick can be removed in plain sight, really, if you do it under the guise of removing the jokers.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can spread it, you can pop the deck down, even with the card loaded in there.
Yeah.
You just pop the deck, speak to them for a bit, and then pick it up, and then it rises out. I mean, that, in my mind, without using the glues and everything else, and the great thing about not using the glues is the glues are great, but you never know when they're gonna, when the card's gonna trigger and the mechanism's gonna trigger. With something like this, you're in complete control.
Yeah, no, 100%. Rising card is rising card, but I think this has made it, in my opinion, more practical. I'm not so afraid to get it out and do it.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of fun to use as well. The gimmick itself is so much fun. So yeah, I'm really glad now they're back in stock and I can actually show you what it should look like. So that is the Sleeper.
David, we're going to try something out with a deck of cards. You can see that they are just randomly mixed. deck, I'll actually give them just a couple of cuts to make sure they are completely mixed. In a moment, what I'm going to ask you to do is reach over, take yourself a portion of cards and sandwich them between your hands. So when I look round, I can't see anything.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So give it a go, just cut as many or as few as you want, sandwich them straight away in your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to turn my head again, but I want you to, did you look at a card? Have you got a card in your mind?
No, not
Okay,
yet, no.
So I'm going to turn my head again, so I can't see anything, but I want you just to lift up and have a peep at your card, but make sure not a little while where you go, oh, I think it's the so-and-so.
Yeah.
You need to know 100% which card it is.
Okay.
Okay, so wait until I'm turned,
Yeah.
and then go.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, David, when you do certain actions, your subconscious takes in every single piece of information, whereas your conscious mind will only pick up on bits it believes relevant. So even though in your mind you just took an amount of cards, if I asked you exactly how many cards were there, you would know. Okay?
Right.
Your conscious doesn't, because it doesn't feel it's important, but your subconscious would have seen how many cards you cut, and you would be able to actually freeze frame and count it. So we're going to try that now.
Okay.
All right? I want you to go back in time to the moment that you're going to cut, as if we're replaying a video. Yeah? So what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to imagine your hand coming towards the deck. I want you to start lifting up the portion of cards, and when you're in this position, I want you to freeze frame. Just get that image in your mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, now I want you to, we're going to press the fast forward. I want you to see your hand come up, your hand like this, and then you're going to peek. As soon as you're peeking at that card, I want you to freeze frame.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do worry when you stare at me like that.
Okay. Do me a favour. I'm not going to change those. What I want you to do is just lift your hand up. I want you to count each card face up onto the table, but count them as you go. And the very last card, just put to one side.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Put it face down.
20.
So we've got 20 cards.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where the subconscious is really powerful. Because even though if I asked you how many you cut, you didn't know. You did know. Because when you freeze framed, I could actually see in there, and I took the time to count every single card. You had how many cards?
20.
And I wrote
20 cards.
20 cards. Now, bearing in mind, you could have cut as many or as few as you liked.
Yeah.
Okay, and the cards were mixed beforehand.
Yeah.
Now, when you freeze frame, this is the bit that always gets me, because even though I see it very clearly in my mind, I don't know whether I'm making it up or I really am getting inside there, but I saw the Jack of Hearts. When I saw you freeze frame at that point, that's the card I saw. I was a bit confused whether it was the Heart of the Diamond, because I think you only went up a little bit, but I saw the Jack of Hearts.
You got it 100% correct.
The Jack of Hearts.
Perfect. Perfect.
And that, my friends, is the code by my very good friend Andy Nyman. Like I said, I mean, I remember seeing Andy perform this years ago at the International Magic Convention when it was called, I'm sure it was the Homicide deck.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but that's what I think it used to call it. It's superb.
I just have to say that is just one of the many routines that you can actually do with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it opens itself up to probably adapt into any routine that you might already do to give it that real clean feel. And you, as soon as you get one of these in your hands, you start creating ideas with it. It's just such an easy tool to use as well.
Yeah,
the system built into this is brilliant. It's easy to use. It takes you should always practice. Yeah. But the actual core method of this doesn't take any practice to get used to.
It's the presentation with a lot of mentalism. Mentalism and magic are different things.
Yeah.
In my mind. A lot of mentalism, it's all down to presentation, because the methods are usually very simple. Magic, there's more sort of sleight of hand involved. Mentalism, there doesn't really seem to be that much. But to make mentalism convincing, is you have to be able to convince the audience that you're doing what you say you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's where someone like Nyman is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and I've known Nyman for 20 odd years, and he always fascinates me when I watch him perform. He's great because you sit there believing that he's just read your mind. You know, I can sit there and watch him and go, that was clever, I know what he did. But as soon as he goes, oh, let me show you this, Peter, I sit there thinking, how do you do that? Yeah. And it's not so much because of the method, but because you believe in him so much.
Yeah, he layers it so nicely as well. I mean, obviously, if you've seen his work that he's done for Darren as well, he's constantly putting layers into his routines, which would just mask the method completely.
Yeah, and the other thing I'll say as well, these are printed by Theory 11. They're on maiden back, I think they call them, which...
Yeah, he goes over this on the DVD, but he says because of the relationship that Theory 11 have with Bicycle, and this is the closest you can possibly get
to a rider back.
On a rider back, yeah. This style of effect on a rider back. And he puts them next to each other in the DVD as well. And
you would never notice.
Yeah.
If you were performing with your regular rider back deck all night and you just sort of rung this one in just for a trick, no one would notice.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard, even when you know what you're looking for, unless you sit there and study them. But the quality of cards are great. They are printed by the USPCC, so the quality is the same.
I recommend this for mentalists and for magicians as well.
Definitely.
I would do a routine with this for card counting. You know, people ask me, can you count cards? And obviously now this leads into being able to know the exact location of a card and actually at the same time counting the cards above it.
Yeah.
So it gives it, for magic's great, but for mentalism it's brilliant as well.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Now we sell the code as a complete set. So inside here you're going to receive the deck plus a DVD, is it, or is it streaming? It's a DVD.
It's a DVD, and I'd highly recommend the DVD. There's Andy Nyman on there showing all the routines that he does for this effect, and he's brilliant. He's a great teacher, and he's got some mind-blowing routines as well.
And the other thing we sell are the code replacement decks.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you start using the code, you're going to want to keep using the code.
Yeah.
So instead of having to buy the whole trick again, you can buy the replacement deck, and I believe they're only £15.
Yeah, but I will say, and I know people already out there thinking, do not cut corners, right? If you don't own the code, you're going to be lost without the DVD, in my opinion.
You need the DVD.
So yeah, if you already have it, obviously we've got the replacement decks, but the routines on there are worth the price of the product without the deck. So, but yeah, it's the code by Andy Nyman, and we both highly recommend it.
So the next product is Rip by Christopher Will.
Yes, I was looking forward to this. As you know, I love Torn and Restored. And when I saw the trailer for this, I liked the fact that it was very quick.
Yeah.
I thought it would be great as a lead-in to an actual piece-by-piece restoration. So this is very haphazard. You'll see it in the performance. Yeah. It's very rip, tear, rip.
Yeah, it's not the neat folding and precise.
But I think that's nice because it's very quick, and they're seeing this magic just happen very quickly, where they question and go, "Whoa, what did I just see there?" And now you go, "Let's do this again. Pop your signature on here, and I'm going to tear it piece by piece."
I'll show you exactly how it works.
Yeah,
Bang, the first
each piece this time. So I think that this definitely has its place. Either on its own as a quick before something else, or actually with another Torn and Restored.
Yeah.
I will say this is right up my street. It's a bit like Sleeper in the fact that you get a really cool gimmick with it. It's really fun to use, really visual, and easy to use as well.
And it's one of those things that you can do out of the packet because there is no sleight of hand. It really is just.
I'd say something as well on the DVD. This comes in how should we say this? It comes made up. It comes ready to go, complete out the pack, and it looks how you see me do it in performance. And what he actually does, which I think is really cool, is he takes you through 3 other looks of the torn cards.
Right.
So this applies to different routines that he has on there as well, of which
how to make them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you want that first gimmick anyway, so you can kind of just get a feel and understanding of how it works. But he then takes you, shows you the other options and the other looks for different routines. So this isn't just a one trick DVD. Although the actual trick itself is a torn and restored, there's some really nice handlings and ideas on there as well. So it's definitely worth a look. But let me show you it.
Please do. That is really cool.
So yeah, it's a very quick, snappy visual version of the torn and restored, and I think that a lot of people are going to like this, whether it be a working environment, which obviously it's perfect for, or social media. It's great for quick video.
Do you know what? I just had a thought. If you were doing walk around or even tables, you got yourself a one-way deck, and on the back just put your sticker.
Yeah.
And then literally rip the card up, restored it, and just handed them that. That is something now they will keep and go, but he just ripped this up in front of me, and all your details are on the back. Just as a little throwaway thing, because it is, to me, it's very quick, very visual, and it's one of those things that they're going to go, what? And then you hand it to them, and now they've got your details, and that feeling of, that was really cool, really instant.
Bear in mind, this is very easy to clean up from as well if you want to. So you can be set to go on to your next card routine. Now you've got a card out, you can now get it signed and you can move on. I really do like this. I probably am going to use this just because it's a quick visual. You know what my style's like now. It's as many bits of visual magic as you can fit into that short amount of time that you're with people, and this definitely ticks that box. So well done, Christopher. I think it's an awesome trick.
Yeah, it's great, and you can get that from Alakazam. They're in stock, and that is RIP. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this week's Alakazam video blog. We had 3 workers, The Code by Andy Nyman, Sleeper and RIP. And also, just to let you know, Jenny said at Blackpool there was a lot of guys coming up saying, oh, can you give us a shout out on the video blog?
Right, okay.
So Jenny has suggested it will be a good idea for us to offer you the chance to have a shout out on the video blog. And to do that, all you need to do is send us an email to sales@alakazam.co.uk. In the subject line, just put video blog shout out or vlog shout out. Put your name, and then also let's have your...
Maybe a message of some sort.
Yeah, a message of some sort, or your favourite trick of the moment. And then we can...
why.
And why. Just give us something that we can put in, and we'll do a couple every week.
And we won't read them out if they're rude.
No.
So bear that in mind.
Well, some of them we might, if they're rude and funny. So, I was just wondering, what would they do if they wanted to subscribe?
If they wanted to do what?
Subscribe to this lovely channel.
Well, it's a good question you ask, because you don't normally ask me that.
No, and I keep forgetting where it is.
I'll point just here.
There?
Yeah.
Right.
Subscribe here. For those who have subscribed will see the benefit. The second these videos go up, they'll fall into your feed. So you'll be the first ones to see what we have in stock, because we have seen that when we put a video up, the stock literally sells out that day. So the people that order later have to wait a couple of days for it. So be the first to see what we review, subscribing here.
Okay, and this weekend is Easter weekend, so there's bank holiday on Friday. It's Good Friday, so Alakazam Magic is closed. Saturday we're closed, obviously Easter Sunday we're closed, and bank holiday Monday we're closed. Obviously you can order online, but your order won't go out till the Tuesday when we're back. So I hope all you guys have a fantastic Easter. Thank you all very much for your support, and we will be back next week with another Alakazam video blog.
Yes, we will.
So until then, have a great long weekend.
See you guys.